Hi, my name is Teresa Koblak, and today I thought I'd show you how I painted these happy little sunflowers. So let's go ahead and get started. First thing we'll do is we're going to use an angler brush. This works nice. If you don't have one, just go ahead and use your round brush. And we're just going to put that green on down at the bottom. And I like to do my edges. So I paint the edge of the painting too. I think I'm going to just bring that up a little bit higher there. And do the other edge. And definitely the bottom. I just think doing the edges gives it a more finished look. If you don't want to do it, you don't have to. Some people like to just paint their edges black or leave it white. All right, so we have our field. And clean down our brush. We're going to go ahead and pick up a little bit of light green. If you don't have any, take and just add a little white to your green. And I'm just thinning that down just a little bit. We're just going to go ahead and blotch in where it would be like the little stems of the flowers. And just blotch them in here and there. When I'm doing my acrylics, I like to leave them a little thicker, so it's totally up to you. And then like on the edge of this one, I painted it, where on the edge of this one, I actually left it. So it's up to you. Clean down our brush. And while this is drying down, we'll go ahead and work on our sky. We want to get a nice vibrant blue. And I'm just going to do the whole top of it. And of course, make sure we do our edges. And the edges on the side. And again, I like my paint nice and thick. When I go to add in my other colors, kind of blend them together. Clean down my brush. And we'll go ahead and pick up some of that burgundy. And I'm just going to bring it in. Just kind of blending it on the actual canvas itself. The canvas that I'm working on is a 2.5 inch by 3.5 inch. It's one of the nice little ones. And I also want to get the edge on this. And the edge over on the side. We'll go ahead and bring in some of those bright colors. Some of that neon pink. Just kind of blending it in. Grab a little bit more. Remember, I want to do my edges, so I'll go ahead and actually do the whole edge there. and the whole edge on the other side. I can always add more colors. We'll go ahead and pick up some of the neon orange. And I want it nice and thick there in spots. Pick up some of that neon pink. Just kind of bringing it in here and there. Clean down my brush. And I want to bring some of that yellow up into the sky. I'm just grabbing, loading up my brush there, grabbing quite a bit. It's okay that I came down to the field a little. Just bring that in. There we go. I think I want a little bit more of that neon orange. Have a good amount on my brush. Remember, I like having some texture on my painting. If you don't have to put so much paint on. And grab a little bit more of that neon pink. I'm just mixing it up just a tiny bit just because it's been sitting for a couple minutes. Just kind of putting it in there. All right, kind of like that sunset. What do you guys think? I think we'll leave it there. Clean down our brush. Let's go ahead and get on those sunflowers. So we have some orange here. And in the back, we're just gonna kind of splotch them in. Just some little dots. They can be different sizes. They don't all have to be the same size. Again, I'm putting them in nice and thick. I like to have the paint nice and thick. Sunflowers are such a happy flower. We'll go ahead and start putting in some bigger ones. Just kind of making some petals there. I like to do mine in layers, where I'm doing colors on top of each other. And I find that really helps for the shadows and the shading. We'll have one coming off the page here, off the canvas. Just put in a good handful of them. Again, I have my paint nice and thick. Of course, that one's a little too thick. That's okay. It's really nice when you can get some texture in there. So a lot of you that are joining me probably see that I normally do the alcohol ink paintings. But with people running out of supplies, I thought I'd go ahead and do another acrylic. And it's nice to change it up a bit too. And clean down our brush. And we'll go ahead and grab some of that yellow. And I'm just gonna add to the dots I have. Those will be our sunflowers that are way in the distance. So just dab it in there. Then when we come up front, we don't want to cover all of our orange. We want some of our orange there. That orange hasn't set up. It's still a little bit wet. And finish off these back here. I don't mind it being a tiny bit wet, but it's best if it dries down a little bit. I'm just cleaning my brush in between just because I want to have that yellow show up. So if I think I got orange on my brush, just take and wipe it on the paper towel. Hope all of you have been healthy and safe out there. I've been trying to clean out my art cabinet and get some things done I haven't gotten done in a long time. Thank you to the doctors, nurses, the grocery store clerks, the people cleaning up after the hospital, all those people that are still going to work and taking care of us. Just a big thank you to you guys out there. So when we're doing these sunflowers, we're not actually painting each little flower petal. That one's nice and thick. I really like that. All right, and let's start putting our centers in. Will be the center of the sunflower where the seed pods are. Sunflower where the seed pods are. We're just gonna touch them in there. So my paint is starting to thicken up a little bit, but being that I'm almost done, I'm just gonna keep going. But if your paint is thickening up on you, you can just take a spray bottle and give it a little mist of water, and that'll help your acrylics stay wet for you. I'm actually just going to mix that up with a little bit of water. Put some more dots in there. Are some flowers in the distance. I'm going to add just a little bit more paint, just because I wasn't watching this and I should have splashed it with water before. So what you can do is take a bottle like this and just give it a little mist, and that'll help keep your paints from drying out. And then we're just going to take and put in the centers. And my yellows are still quite wet, so I'm going to blow them down a tiny bit here. Just with the hair dryer, so I'll be with you in a second. And we'll go ahead and go in with that brown now. I like it nice and thick. If you don't want to put it in so thick, you don't have to. Had a little bit of yellow on there, so I wiped it off. Just have fun with your painting. Relax. Put in your little sunflowers. They don't have to be perfect. Just adding some dots back here. Give it that illusion of sunflowers further on back. If you get paint on your brush, make sure you wipe it off on your paper towel. If it's way too much, give it a little dip in the water. So I have quite a few spaces in here, And I can just come back and add in some more sunflowers. Just blotch some in there. So it's up to you. If you want to leave it alone, you can do that too. But I think it needs a few more. So we'll just add in a few more. And we can even do some dots out here. They don't all have to have the brown little dot on them. Just like we have a field of sunflowers. And we'll do orange on top of this one since we did it the other way around. Grab on some of that orange. Just give a little smudge. A little too much paint there, rub some off. So further back, so they don't have to be perfect. Maybe we'll put one right here too. Do a little yellow on that one too. It's just a nice relaxing project to do. Great one for beginners. We're going to dry it down just a tiny bit so we can add in that brown. So at home you can use a blow dryer to dry it down a little bit, or just give yourself a 2-second break and then come back to it. Just adding in the brown for the centers. That one I have the orange quite thick on. It's alright, I like it like that. Still a fun project to do. So if you have some acrylics at home, pull them out and have a little fun painting. Just want to come back in and add just a few petals here and there. If you pick up the other colors, make sure you clean off your brush. Remember, the sunflowers aren't always going to look the same. You know, they're different, just like people. just adding a few more flower petals. If you're not sure if you should add more flower petals to yours, get up, walk away for a second, come back and look at it. You always can add more. I kind of like it. What do you think? It's a fun project. So again, this was a great one for beginners. Just having a little fun, and hope all of you are staying safe. If you'd like to see more of my work, you're welcome to follow me on Instagram. And usually you see me doing the alcohol inks. My next tutorial will be on alcohol inks. I'm not quite sure what I'm going to paint next. We'll figure it out when we get there. I just thought this would be kind of fun to do something a little different. I think we'll leave it right there. So again, my name is Teresa Kovlak. Oops, also going to tell you, when you go to seal this, you want to let it dry. And not only do you want to let it dry, but you also want to let it cure. So you want to let it set up all the way. And if you're not sure if it's dry all the way, let it set for a couple of weeks. So it's just going to depend on how thick you put your paints. And so when you go to seal it, what I use is the Liquidtex. I do usually do mine in the gloss. It does come in the matte, and you can use that too. And but definitely need to make sure it's dry all the way. It's very important. So again, my name is Teresa Kovlak, and I might just add a few more details in here, but I kind of like it. Some flowers make me happy. So again, my name is Teresa Kovlak, and have a great rest of your day. Sorry I said my name so many times. I'm so used to saying it at the end of the video. But you have a great rest of your day, and happy painting. Bye-bye.